Whenever I hear the words Charlamagne the God, I instantly feel discomfort. I feel disturbed with unpleasant emotions. I start preparing myself to be gaslit with stereotypical propaganda. I become fearful with the fact that womanhood cannot thrive or settle in a peaceful position with the thoughts, voice, or image of a Charlamagne the God within her fortress. Us and him cannot coexist harmoniously at all. He is a predator. He is a predator who is educated. He is a predator who is educated and has a platform of 4.5 million followers. He calls himself God, and 4.5 million people follow him. He is dangerous. He was recently invited to the View daytime talk show to discuss his new book, which I will not be inserting the title of or giving him any promotion here. But I really came to talk about how the Black community is suffering due to the lack of Black male leadership. Thus, someone like Charlamagne gets invited and is asked to provide his commentary on someone like Diddy. And he's asked who he might be endorsing for president. Since when do we as Black women consider the endorsement of a self-admitted rapist for president? I don't care who Charlamagne is endorsing for the 2024 presidential election, because had the criminal justice system worked for the benefit and safety of women, Charlamagne would be ineligible to participate in our voting process, as well as Donald Trump would be ineligible to run. Today, on Crashing the Culture, we are going to discuss how a community of Black excellence crumbled to the mercy of Leonard McKelvey, a.k.a. Charlamagne the God.
Just like I need you, I'll still be reaching for you. I know you need me, just like I need you. Hold out your hand for me.
Leonard McKelvey was born June 29, 1978. He married one of his first victims in 2014. They now have 4 daughters together. Leonard began going by the alias Charles when he began selling marijuana, crack, and cocaine. During that time in his life, he witnessed and participated in violence against Black people. Finally, after several arrests, he decided to abort the trap life and wanted to use his gift of gab to pursue a career in radio. Translation: he says shocking things for clicks and views. Translation: it's all about the money. The reason men like Charles get elevated to positions of power, just as P. Diddy has done, is because authentic media outlets and seemingly reputable platforms and celebrities lend them credibility. When I watched his interview on The View over the weekend, I was utterly disgusted in the manner which Whoopi, Sarah, Sunny, and Alyssa sat there and declined to ask Charles the tough questions. They refused to hold his feet to the fire regarding his own sexual assault cases. These ladies can tell you everything about Joe Biden and Donald Trump, but you mean to tell me your Hot Topics team did not inform you of the problematic cloud surrounding Charles McKelvey? See, this willingness to be obtuse causes me to re-examine their biases as professional journalists. I don't trust them anymore. It is now obvious to me that this panel picks and chooses what crimes against women they want to condemn, and I will not pick and choose when it comes to crimes against women. All the men will go down if I have anything to say about it. The main 2 topics they invited Charles on air to discuss were, 1, who was he endorsing for president? And 2, what does he think about Sean Combs? So let's talk about the endorsement piece first. Sunny and Whoopi's disappointment of Charles refusing to publicly endorse Trump was palpable. I'm not sure why they were so shocked. Trump and Charles share a lot of similarities in regards to how they treat women. Whoopi, Sarah, and Sunny have often said on this platform, a quote from Maya Angelou, "When someone shows you who they are, believe them." For nearly a decade, they have been drilling into our minds how Trump hates women, that Trump is a predator of women, and Trump is violent towards women. Shall I bring out the receipts?
You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. You just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Whatever you want. Grab them by the pussy. You can do anything.
So when Charles comes on, who has his own sexual assault cases, who has also been called out for hating women and being a predator and violent towards women, these women fail to hold his feet to the fire the same way. Why? Why is Sunny, who numerous times brought up her notable career as a federal prosecutor, never once asked Charles about his previous admissions of intentionally getting women intoxicated and using their state of inebriation to take advantage of them sexually? Just last week, Sunny stated how deeply the Cassie and Diddy case affected her because she has an 18-year-old daughter. But now, when she is sitting next to the manifestation of what will be Diddy's brother, she has nothing to say. Why? If her Hot Topics producer could get the tape of Trump saying he likes to grab women by our vaginas just 8 years ago, why couldn't her Hot Topics producer find this tape?
I remember a scenario, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I got this girl real drunk, and
that sentence sounds a little fishy. I got her drunk.
I didn't just get her drunk. I remember I went to the sex store and got Spanish Fly.
Oh, so you raped her?
Shut up. Spanish Fly. They sell it in the sex store. I'm telling the truth. They spell it in the Spanish store. I had to fucking.
They sell knives in the store too. You could put that to a girl's throat and have sex with it. That doesn't mean it's legal.
So I put the Spanish Fly in the E&J. We drinking the E&J and shit. So in my mind, I don't know if this shit really worked, but I felt like I got horny as a motherfucker too. Right? So she was drunk as shit, and we had sex and shit, and like a lot of my boys was trying to come in the room and fuck her. I'm like, nah, chill, like, I can't, I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna let you run a train on it. That's rape.
Yeah.
Okay, so right, so
it's just one-on-one. It ain't rape.
Yeah. So the next
trains are rape.
So the next morning she wakes up. And we talk about it, and she's like, "What happened?"
Oh shit.
Like, we had sex. She said, "Okay, well, I'm glad it was you." Then a couple days later, she's like, "Yo, are you sure I only had sex with you?" Because one of my stupid ass cousins was going around saying he fucked her, which he didn't. I know for a fact he didn't. I was there the whole time.
Yeah.
He did not fuck her.
Yeah.
He looked at her naked, but he didn't fuck her, right? So I'm telling her, no, me and you just had sex. Nobody else did nothing. So it just was weird that she was like, "Well, I'm just glad it was you." You know what I'm saying? Because in my mind, I'm like, yo, you could have been in a real bad situation if it was another motherfucker there.
That's a huge compliment, man. A girl just said, yo, at least you raped me.
I didn't rape her. I did not rape her.
Hey, if it was any of your cousins or friends, it would have been rape. But
I didn't rape her because me and her had every intention of having sex with each other.
So then why would you put the Spanish Fly?
I'm still a freaky motherfucker, but
Was she passed out while you fucked her?
Nah, she wasn't like, she was like one of those drunks where, she was one of those drunks where like, but she was like, she wasn't coherent, but she was up. You know when your girls is, like when you're blacked out, like that, don't know what the fuck's going on type shit. Like she was
awake and she was into it.
She was wasted. Yeah, she was.
Her eyes were not rolling in the back of her head.
No.
Okay. Was she snoring while you were?
It was just weird. It was just weird because while we was having sex, because one of my homeboys used to fuck her on the regular.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I say the regular, that was his girl. Like he hates me probably to this day.
Wait, so you fucked your friend's girl?
That was a piece of shit.
Charles and Trump are identical in nature. The only difference is Trump violates white women and Charles violates black women. And as we have seen regarding the legal actions Jessica Reed has attempted to pursue in an effort to hold Charles accountable, she has gotten nowhere near the traction of a Stormy Daniels or Jean Carroll. Number 2, Charles comments on P. Diddy. Sonny led the question off by saying, "I'm not sure if you want to answer this."
I'm not sure if you want to answer this, but what are your thoughts on everything going on with Diddy right now?
Let's think about that. Sonny would never preface a question to Donald Trump or Sean Combs by saying, "I'm not sure if you want to answer this." By saying, "I'm not sure if you want to answer this," it's almost giving the person a choice to decline to answer, or giving them the heads up that, hey, this is a trick question coming your way. You know, as a journalist and as a female journalist, I would have preferred the question be rephrased to something along the lines of, hey, when women come out detailing stories of domestic violence, why do you believe prominent members of the hip-hop community fail to take action and speak up? See, asking a question like that really gets the ball rolling, particularly when the first 2 minutes of the interview, Charles stated to the panel he doesn't like small talk because it doesn't promote intelligent conversation. Charles responded to Sonny by putting the onus of domestic violence back on the unknown women who are suffering in silence and detailing the triggers of men who commit such crimes as because they feel inferior to women. Now, there is some truth in what he is saying, but be clear, he was deflecting to get the topic off of Diddy because eventually that would fall right back on him. Think about it. Charles is almost James St. Patrick's from Power if we let him grow any bigger. He started off selling poison to his own community, then transitioned to a career of marketing and radio. He has elevated himself up to the tune of $10 million, and he's left behind a path of destruction with his fingerprints all over it. He sold drugs to addicts. He's participated in gun violence. Women have come forward stating he has assaulted them, and he is even on tape admitting to drugging women so that he can get sexual pleasure from them. Even the men he is describing this story to say, "Oh wow, you raped her." So even the other men know that what he's doing is wrong. Go back and listen to that tape earlier in this video. He said his other friends kept trying to come into the room and have sex with the woman too, and even his cousin. And this is what he said. These are his words, not mine. He said even his cousin came in the room and looked at the woman's naked body, and this clueless woman was none the wiser. She's being violated by all of these men in this house while she is laying there unconscious and naked. He said he had sex with her while she was incoherent. Now, fast forward 10 years, this is the same man who has one of the top careers in urban radio. He's developed a massive internet following, so much so that his influence is recognized by ABC, which is a family network and the #1 network for upscale viewers earning over $100,000 per year. Think about that. That's the network who invited Charles to come and talk about who he was endorsing for the 2024 presidential election and to ask him what he thinks about Sean Combs. Was Michael B. Jordan not available? Could we not find anybody else to do it? Is this really all the black community has left to offer? Charles McKelvey? Of all the black men left standing in America, is this the best of the best that we can produce? Is this really who we are? Who we're really trusting to have the ears of our children? A drug-dealing rapist. I'm telling you, black people, we have more work to do. Because from where I am sitting, all we have done is elevated another monster to the status of arrogance, to where he thinks he is one of the most freest black men in America. So much so that he is putting his thoughts on paper and charging everybody $20 a pop to go and read it. Who gave this drug-dealing rapist a book deal? This is what I want you all to do for me. Get down in the comments. Get down in the comments and tell me any good black men who you know or who you have seen on television or who has convinced you, hey, this person may have a plan. This person may have an idea of how we should go about doing things. Who do you trust to give you political advice? I only want you to think about men, black men, who you trust to give you political advice. Name them. Put them in the comments section. Let's have a discussion. Let's educate one another. Doesn't have to be a politician. Doesn't have to be a Democrat or a Republican. Doesn't have to be an athlete, musician, or author, or really it can be. I really want to know. Tell me, who in the Black community can we trust? So I will be looking for those answers, and then we can come back and have a follow-up discussion. Remember, my name is E, and this is the In Touch with E podcast. Like and subscribe, and let's talk down in the chat. Bye.
But I'll still be